Back to Tales of Wandering Bard. Today we have Manuel playing Sarah again.
Yes.
And to do a quick recap that we just went over, Sarah has left the tower with Iron, as he likes to be called, and has been captured by hobgoblins and is now their slave. All of your gear has been stripped from you. You have rags or no clothes to wear. You have chains around your hands, kind of binding them together so you can't do too much. And your spellbook has been looted and kind of left in the head hobgoblin's treasure hovel. Right. He's got a little hut outside of this little tiny area that they've got, where he keeps all of the best loot.
Right, that's awkward.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So, do you have any questions before we kick it off?
No, I think I know I'm pretty screwed, so let's see if we can get out of this.
Yeah, we'll just see how it goes.
Yes. All right.
So, you are their slave. You've been here maybe a week now. You've rested up to full HP.
Yes.
Yeah, full HP. And you've kind of seen the layout of the camp. It's a collection of small huts that look like they've been made by slaves. You've never seen any of the hobgoblins working on it, but other human slaves around here have been. Right. You are kept separate from the other slaves, as you are the kind of the singer and the dancer, and they kind of bring you out if they're negotiating with other people to kind of parade you around as, yes, we'll bring in the entertainment, while the other slaves are left to, sleep with the pigs and whatnot. The head hobgoblin has a hut to himself, while everyone else kind of sleeps in barracks with one another. You've noticed a distinct lack of female hobgoblins here. No women, no children, just males, and they all seem to be warriors. The head hobgoblin's hut, which you've been in once or twice, but very, very briefly, does seem to have your spellbook, as well as a bunch of other loot, and there's a chest with some coins in it. There's some various nice equipment. Doesn't look like there's any armor that would fit you, but there's plenty of weapons and that sort of thing.
So my armor isn't there, my loot isn't there, my other stuff.
Your loot for your playing. Do you have a
loot? Yeah,
your musical loot is in there.
Okay.
And your spellbook is in there.
But my other stuff isn't.
Mm-mm.
Right. Okay.
So your daily routine consists of waking up, being hungry, kind of sitting around doing nothing, then having to work in the kitchens a little bit, and then performing for people, singing and dancing and whatnot in the evenings. The hobgoblins are pretty crude and crass. They give you tattered clothes to wear, and then they often rip them to shreds during the course of the night, but they never touch you in any way.
Okay.
It's a pretty miserable existence.
Yes, sounds pretty bad.
Yeah. Oh, also, as I said before, you have manacles on your hands that are linked by a chain about yay long.
Yeah.
So enough to kind of do things, but not enough to really, you couldn't climb or you couldn't maybe fight very well.
But, do they have me play my lute?
Yeah.
Should have been a bit longer like this.
They unmanacle your hands to play the lute.
Right.
Oh, they'll undo one of them, and then when you're done, they'll remanacle them.
Yeah. All right.
So, what would you like to do, and when would you like to do it?
So, when would the time be that there are fewest people around, hobgoblin?
From time to time, they will send out a group to go off and do something.
Mm-hmm.
You're never present for what that is that they're doing, but you'll leave from the kitchen to go somewhere else, and you'll see maybe half the group leaving. The number of hobgoblins in this camp is about 20. So from time to time, 10 will disappear. Once you saw 15 leave, and only the few stayed behind. But it's usually most people hang around the camp all day.
Okay, so when there are 15, between 12 and 15 gone, is there ever a time that when that happens again?
Yeah, we can just kind of see
Wait
how
until
long that takes. Yeah. Is there a time frame that you want to do this in? If that is going to take a couple of months, would you like to act sooner than that?
Sure. I would wait for I guess a month or a month and a half, something like that.
So you'll spend a month and a half kind of
Yeah.
biding your time, waiting
Yeah.
for.
Checking everything out, looking, maybe seeing if I can find my stuff, my
Mhm.
gear, my weapon somewhere. If I
You're-
see it somewhere in passing or something.
You're pretty sure your armor has been repurposed, like cut apart and then stitched together to make other leather items or leather armor for other people.
Huh. Well, that sucks.
Yes. What other gear did you have?
I had scimitar, loot. My loot I have obviously. Studded leather. That's all coming
Yeah.
up. Longbow, arrows, torch, and a whip.
You've definitely seen your scimitar and your longbow in the armory.
All right.
Actually, your longbow is in the head hobgoblin's hut as well because it was very well made. You had
Right.
bought an extremely nice longbow with the money that Mr. Iron had created.
Okay.
Um,
Created. He created money.
I mean, in a you know, in the sense that he had the money.
He had money,
He
yeah.
acquired.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's see.
Right. Let's see how long it takes.
Okay, so it takes about 20 more days before most of them are gone.
Okay.
And those 20 days are pretty brutal. Wait, that's not right. I need these two. Oops. Those 20 days are pretty brutal.
Okay.
You spend a lot of time just being mocked and laughed at. You get pushed in some puddles. You're made to wrestle with other people. They consistently insult you and degrade you. You lose a lot of weight. You're not fed very well. You're mostly having to steal scraps from the kitchen from time to time.
Right. I mean, while cooking, I could eat some.
Yeah, that's
Wouldn't be amazing, but
it's pretty much what you're having to do.
right.
You see a
Okay.
couple of your fellow slaves get just outright killed for sport, and some other ones being sold away into slavery to humans or barbarians or orcs or something. Well, not orcs ever, but to other races.
Mhm.
But after 20 days or so of enduring this horrible existence, you find your opportunity leaving the kitchen one day, bringing a big pot of soup to one of the injured hobgoblins. And you notice that the rest of them are heading out. Looks like 15 of them, leader included, have packed up and are marching northward.
Okay. Are they wearing a lot of weapons?
They're
weaponry,
wearing their
gear?
full chainmail, axes, crossbows, longbows.
Right.
Battle.
But not my longbow.
Um,
I mean, it's pretty big. I guess I would see that on them. It's
yeah,
a
it's
longbow
pretty
for a
obvious.
human-ish size.
Give me a perception check. D20 plus perception.
Right.
Yeah, these hobgoblins are pretty big, so they could, in theory, use it.
21.
Alright, you do not spot the longbow on them.
All right.
They're definitely not carrying it out.
Okay. All right. Then going through my daily routine. Let's say I'm in the kitchen.
Mhm.
Is there any hobgoblin around? Do I see any of them?
There's
Okay.
one sitting outside, lazily carving something with a big knife. The kitchen doesn't have an actual door, it's just an open frame like this, so
Yeah.
he can look into the kitchen if he needs to, or he can look over to where the other slaves are digging pits for latrines.
Right. There's no other hobgoblins around.
There's
Right.
one in the infirmary, this one watching, two sleeping, and the fifth one, you're not sure where the fifth one is.
Okay, so I know it's somewhere around, but might be out in the forest a bit or
Yeah,
sitting somewhere.
maybe he's in the forest, maybe he's in a different
Right.
building.
Right.
Fifth one's a little...
Well, I'm going to assume it might be guarding the chief's hut.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's where all the valuables are, so that would be logical. So basically, I have two that might be able to see and or hear me, and two that are asleep, so probably won't, and one that's like up in the air. How far is the leader's hut from the kitchen area?
Pretty close.
Pretty close.
10 meters, 15 meters.
In the infirmary?
Yeah, you know what? Let's do a quick little drawing, actually.
Right.
Do we have a spare pencil? Yeah. So... one, two, three, four, five, six. So we've got... I will show this on camera in a bit. I just want to mark them first. So, this star is the chieftain's hut.
Mm-hmm.
This is the kitchen. Here are the two barracks. This is where the slaves live. This is the infirmary. Here's the armory. It's like a small attached building.
Right.
And in the middle is a big fire pit.
Right.
Where they hang out. Let me just show this on stream. Can that be seen? All right. So the star on the right of the screen is where the chieftain is. The K to the top is the kitchen. At the top right is the barracks. The bottom left is the barracks. The far left is where the slaves are kept, and the bottom right is the infirmary. You can see the armory attached to the chieftain's hut, and the circle of stones in the middle. That is the fire pit.
All right.
So, what's your plan?
So basically, the one in the chieftain's hut, I'm assuming it's there, is the one that's closest to me, and the one outside the kitchen, obviously.
Yeah, the one outside the kitchen
Yep.
is sitting something like this, and the people are digging latrines up here.
All right. So that guy is watching us, of me, and the other slaves.
Yeah.
Basically, right. Mm. All right. In the kitchen, I'm assuming they have some knives that are somewhat sharp.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not
Yeah,
extremely, but
you've got butcher knives, you've got paring knives, you've got what you need to do to cook.
To do damage to people as well, I suppose.
Yes, in a pinch.
In a pinch, right. Let's see. Well, I'm assuming I don't have any spells because I don't have my spell book.
Right.
So that's not an option. Okay, I'm looking for a knife, a fairly sharp knife, one that would slit someone's throat if need be.
Yeah, you've got one.
All right. Okay, so I'll take it. I'll put it like up my sleeve or something, like hide it a bit, make sure that the goblin outside wouldn't see it right away. Or maybe keep it to my side, something like that.
Sure. Redraw the map over here for chat.
Sure.
And?
At that point, I'll spill some soup or something I'm working on. I'll throw it on the ground and I'll call the goblin like, hey, come on here, come here.
He gets up from his seat and lazily walks over to you with a kind of a grunt. Spilled soup.
So I'll try to like stay a bit back so that I give him the opportunity to stand between me and the soup, so for him to look at it or something, or at least try to inch myself backwards so he can get in front of me. Or
he looks over at the soup, sees the meat in it that had been spilled. He looks up at you and goes, "Venison, you go hungry. 1 week, no food."
And I say, well, it's because of this, and I point at the like, I don't know, cooking appliances, just in the general direction behind him, basically.
He turns to look at it.
The moment that he looks back, I try to stab him in the neck. Like,
okay, give me a roll to hit. +2 for back attack, +1 for surprise. This guy's hanging around not in his armor. So it should be, you're level 5, so it should be 2, 4, 5, +5 to hit total.
I'm assuming the knife doesn't have any plus. Right, so it's a 13?
Yeah, 12 is
Right.
a hit.
Right.
The knife does. It's a big kitchen knife, so I'm going to say D4 damage. Like a same damage as a dagger.
Alright. 2 damage.
2. Bards don't get backstab damage, do they? I think that's just rogues that get backstab damage.
I don't know actually.
I'm double checking because I'm not entirely sure.
That would be amazing.
Yeah. I think if you had it, it would be on your character sheet pretty prominently.
Let's see. Plus 1 weapon proof? No.
Yeah, there's no backstab damage for. No, that's definitely just a thief skill.
Alright.
So you stab him for 2 points of damage. He gives a sort of cry in surprise and disbelief as he whirls around to face you. Give me an initiative roll.
Initiative, that's D10, right?
D10, your weapon speed for your knife is 2.
Right, and do I have any bonuses?
No.
8 is 10.
Okay. You beat his initiative. You go first.
Well, I will stab him again. I suppose. I mean, not much else I can do right now, or I'll get killed. So.
Okay. You roll the hit.
That's no.
No.
I
You
missed.
slash at him. He gracefully steps out of the way and brings his big hobgoblin-y fist to bear against you. It swings nearby you, and you manage to duck out of the way.
Right.
And he shouts loudly. What does he say? He doesn't shout loudly. He says kind of low and quiet. "This is the last time. We will eat you tonight." And give me another initiative roll.
I give him a little wink. That's what she said. All right.
Oh.
Yes.
D10 plus 2.
What do you mean? It's 10 again.
You go first again.
Alright, I attack him again. This one definitely
13,
hits.
14, 15 is a hit. You stab him for
4 damage.
4 points of damage. The knife goes in deep into his chest. And he gurgles a little bit as he falls to his knees, his hands like resting on his shoulders, trying to choke you, but clearly there's no strength left in his arms. He looks at you a few moments before he just gurgles to death and
Falls over.
collapses on the ground. His first cry of surprise was pretty loud, but after that he didn't seem to be trying to attract attention. You know these hobgoblins are very confident.
Right.
This guy seemed maybe a little bit cocky, so
Right.
what do you do now?
Does he have any weapons on him?
No.
No weapons. So that hence the.
I mean, he
fist.
had like a carving knife.
Right. Would that be better than what I have now? No. All right. So
Maybe higher quality, less likely to break, but same damage.
No, I'll take it.
Okay.
Why not? Let's see. I take some extra weapons and I walk towards the slaves and I give them to him.
Okay.
I mean, they're digging, so I suppose they're not all chained up.
Their legs are chained, but their hands are free for shoveling.
Right. Well, no one is watching them, so I tell them to cut themselves loose, I suppose.
I mean, they've got chains.
Yeah, I suppose.
Can't cut the chains. The slaves look at you with eyes wide, and one of them says, "You're gonna get us all killed. What are you doing?"
Well, this is not no life. I mean, come on. I'd rather be dead than what this.
You're gonna get us killed. I don't wanna... What?
You want to live like this?
No?
Well then, help me and you'll get out.
Give me a charisma check.
Oh, that's gonna be awesome. Let's see.
16 and 6.
It's 22.
22, that's
Alright.
the two slaves exchange glances, and one of them kind of elbows the other and goes, "Come on, this is our only shot." And they put down their shovels, pick up your knives that you hand them,
What are they chained to?
just
Each
to one
other?
another. Mhm.
Oh, so they could just do some kind of buddy hop, like.
Yeah, I mean their legs are chained with enough room that they can kind of shuffle, and then there's a length of chain, and then to the next person. So they
Right.
have to kind of like walk slowly together.
Like in column.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah, like a prison chain gang.
Right. I tell them to wait, and I go get some cloth from somewhere, like in the kitchen. There must
Sure.
be some cloth.
Yeah, there's
And
some cloth around.
turn it wrap it around the chain so they don't make that much noise.
Okay.
I mean, might as well be as stealthy as possible,
Okay.
even though the guy made a lot of noise. Knowing that there's probably at least one awake guy, or there is at least one awake guy in the infirmary, and probably two
Mhm.
conscious ones, I'll tell them to go into the chief's room, and we can get some actual weapons, my
Mhm.
weapons for myself. So tell them to go to the chief's room, and we slowly get there very quietly, as quietly as possible. And
Yeah, go ahead.
and I guess I'll peer through the door, like check if there's anyone there.
Give me a perception check.
That's 28. I mean.
28.
Uh,
Okay.
No, that's less, by the way. It's 50, 25.
25. Okay. You peer through the little doorway. You see seated on the bed, kind of reclining against the wall, is the other hobgoblin guard.
Right. So I assumed correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
In his hands is a very nice battle axe that he's kind of turning over and admiring and kind of practicing a cut with here and there. And
It's not at all alerted.
no, he's seems to be reclining in the chief's bed, just kind of hanging out.
If the chief saw that, he would get his head cut off, probably.
Something bad.
Yeah. All right. Is he anywhere near the outside of the tent? I mean, towards the.
Oh, these. So I should actually mention these are like mud brick buildings, like dried mud that the slaves have created.
Okay.
So there's some structure to the walls, and then the roof is thatched. So it's
Right.
like a kind of a permanent dwelling place.
Right. Okay. So, is he anywhere near a window?
Yes. Directly behind the bed is just kind of a reed window that's been like woven together, kind of like a woven basket for windows.
Right. So he's sitting right next to that.
Yeah. His head is resting on the closed window.
Okay. Well, that changes things. I guess I'll just very slowly. I tell the slaves to wait at the entrance, and I tell once I attack him, go in and attack him. I'll attack him from behind and stab him in the back. Try to kill him in one hit. If he gets his friends, we're all dead. So we might as well
It's a
just.
big axe he's got there.
I mean, are there any weapons around the chief's place?
There's a rack against the other wall. So if you walk in from the door,
Right.
the bed is to the right, and directly in front of you on the other side is where the rack is of weapons.
So bed on the right, rack in the front.
Mhm.
Okay, so I tell them to walk along the left, go to the rack, and get a decent weapon, and attack him with that. Because he will probably be surprised by a knife in his back. I mean, it's
Yeah.
that's our only choice right now.
They
Or-
seem very nervous about this situation.
Or they could do that, and I could get the weapon, but I don't really trust them that much.
Okay.
So I look at them and yes.
Okay, sure.
Okay, so I very quietly walk to the window, to the reed window,
Mhm.
and I grab my knife.
Give me a. So you have a move silently check, I believe. What is it?
That was
Climb walls, take noise, pickpockets. No, you don't have a move silently. Okay, so give me a dexterity check opposed by his perception check to
Oh,
see
God.
if he notices you making some noise.
Oh, he definitely noticed me.
Okay. So you're creeping up to it, and you get to right by the reed window when the window's kind of push open. It almost hits you in the nose. And he looks out, spots you, you spot him. Is he surprised? No, definitely not. Give me an initiative roll as he clearly picks up on on the slave with the knife in the hand.
Right. Yeah, I'm not gonna play that off. It's not gonna happen. Wait, where's my?
It's the speed of a battle axe. I think battle axe speed is 7. Give me an initiative roll.
8.
8 total?
Yes. At least the knife was 2, right?
Knife is 2,
Right,
yeah.
Yeah.
Battle axe is 7, so he goes at 9. You go
Right.
first. He's standing there in the window with a kind of a dumb look on his face.
Let's see. How far is he from me? Like a step, 2 steps, 3 steps?
This distance, like
Right.
2 steps.
So I can make put 1 step forward and slice at him.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I guess I'll do that.
You step and slide.
Oh, I
Natural
totally
one.
miss.
Give me a saving throw versus death. This
There it
top
is.
number or higher.
Oh,
Okay.
that's
Natural 20, so you're fine.
totally fine.
You slash at him, cut through the window a little bit. He gives a roar and swings his axe at you, cleaving into you for 8 points of damage.
Ouch.
It
That
is a
hurts.
huge chunk that gets cut into you.
8.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Let me check the guys. The other 2. You can actually hear the other 2. One of them saying, "Run, run!" The other says, "No, fight, fight!" And they seem to be arguing and not quite getting somewhere. Initiative round.
Yeah. 7 total.
7 total. Yeah, you go way before he can move. He's like half hanging out the window now in order to get his attack in. So his legs, his legs are behind the window. His head and body are out and swinging at you that way.
Standing up gives an attack of opportunity, right?
No,
Doesn't?
not standing. It will
Getting
take
up
like
from
half
prone.
move. It'll take a half move to stand, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
At least that's another addition. Okay, so I try to pull him out, grab him and pull him out of the tent.
Okay. Trying to grab him will give him an attack of opportunity against you.
Right. That's not optimal.
I mean, you have a lot of life.
Well, not that much. Got 7.
Yeah. You can do 7 damage in a blow.
Can't do it because it just did 8. So I mean, right. I'll just do it. I have to.
Okay.
Yes.
So you go to grab him. He takes a swing at you. You duck underneath the swing and try and just make an attack against him to grab him and pull him down. You good? Give me a strength check.
Strength check.
See if you can pull him to the ground.
21.
An orc should have. Well, he's teetering out the window.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to give him a penalty to his strength for being in kind of a lever
Yeah.
situation. 21 is higher than his 18. He
Yeah.
comes toppling out the window, cracking onto the ground. Not high enough to take any damage, but he does sprawl out. Just kind of
All right.
flat on the ground.
All right. So now I would have my move turn left. Okay, I run towards the entrance and try to get in. How far could I get?
Very easily. You can move 60 meters pretty much in a round.
Right. So I just move in and run as far as I can towards the wreck.
You
that
run
open wreck.
past the 2 who are kind of standing next to the doorway, pulling and tugging. They watch you go in.
The one that's trying to run away, I slap him on the back, like, come on.
That seems to do it. They kind of shuffle in after you. You make it
Right.
to the weapon rack. There's the longbow. There is
Right.
a jewel-encrusted long sword as well.
I just grab my scimitar if it's anywhere near.
The scimitar would be probably in the armory,
Right.
which is nearby.
Is there anything that resembles a scimitar? I mean, I have one-handed, so I could get a longsword. That should be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
The
just get
scimitar
a
and the longsword are close enough that I'll just give you a penalty of 1 to hit with the longsword.
But I do have one-handed proficiency.
Yeah, that's the one-hand fighting style that gives you the AC
Oh,
bonus.
right. Yeah.
So I'm going to say there's a proficiency group between scimitar and longsword. So instead of no penalty, as you would with the scimitar, we'll just say penalty of 1 with the longsword. Similar, but
Sure.
a little bit different.
Sure. Okay. All right. Okay, so I grab the longsword and the longbow. Are there any arrows nearby that I could use in this longbow?
Mm-hmm. There's a stack of arrows leaned up against the corner of the bed.
All right, I'll just grab a couple of them, like 4 or 5.
Yeah, just a handful of
Yeah,
arrows.
yeah.
Longbow over your shoulder, longsword in hand.
Um,
Or I'm sorry, you didn't say longsword. You said longbow, right?
yeah, longbow. I'll just take the longbow and have the short long sword somewhere near me,
Okay.
so I can grab it if need be.
Okay. The two other guys come in. They look around the room. One of them picks up the knife you drop, I guess, because there's no belt on your to hold the knife. The other one, what else is in the room? The other one picks up a longsword.
Right.
And
Why would he get a knife? There's so many better weapons. Idiot.
The orc comes careening, or not the orc, the hobgoblin comes running from the outside, charging in through the door, axe in hand, straight at the guy who had been trying to run away. Okay, who's just got the little knife. Ooh. Takes a swing, trips over the uneven ground, catches himself, but misses wildly and kind of tumbles into the side of the wall.
Right.
While the other two approach him, they have no idea how to use these weapons, slashing and hacking wildly, but to no avail.
Right.
This is making quite a bit of noise now.
Yeah. Well, I expected that.
Give me an initiative roll.
Oh, very nice. What's a longbow? That's
8.
8, so it's 9.
Okay. The guy with the knife goes first, stabs at the orc, misses. The orc swings at him, misses. You got a 9?
9, yes.
You go next.
All right. How far am I from him? I could just use my longbow and be fine, right?
You're close, but he's not. He's to the side of you.
Right. There's no one too close to him for me to hit him or something. No. I just shoot at him.
Okay.
My longbow.
Let's see. It should be a d20 plus 3?
Plus
plus
3.
3.
Yeah, that's not gonna hit. 8.
No.
No.
Why is it? Oh, okay. Oh, because you're specialized with missile weapons. Okay, the arrow misses entirely. The guy with the sword goes swing and a miss, and you can hear the grumbled sounds of hobgoblins on the other side of the camp going, "What's going on?" But in goblin, it's hard to tell. It sounds like they're asking what's up.
Right.
Next combat round.
You
get a second attack.
Okay,
To the round.
Nice.
Miss bows get 2 attacks.
I tell them to silence him, like, I don't know, just keep the hands over his mouth or something like that, and I shoot at him. For 12.
12 is a hit. You're specialized with the bow and within 20 feet of him.
Yes.
So I think you get a +2 to your damage roll.
Damage roll.
So it should be a d8 plus 2. Go for it.
7 damage.
Oh, that's enough. You hit him like a pincushion, and he collapses to the ground. Arrow in his chest. The slaves look at you and say, "What now?"
Well, let's try to get away and or kill the other guys. I mean, if we don't, they might come after us. Did I hear only one voice, or did I hear more commotion, like people waking up, such? Like,
You heard one voice.
One voice, right. Right. After hearing him, like, what's going on, I'll tell him to come into I'll like, not too loud, but I'll yell at him, like, come to the chief's place, like the chief's tent or house or whatever. There's something wrong with this guard guy. That's what I'll say.
Give me a charisma check. See if he.
22.
Stack. All right. He calls out the name of the hobgoblin. He goes, "Grog! Grog! What's going on?"
I think he's unconscious. I yell.
You hear kind of You get a dragging noise followed by a step and a drag and a step and a drag.
I ready an attack, and the instant I see him, I shoot him.
Okay, the door swings open, and this hobgoblin who's got his leg in a cast, like in a splint, dragging his foot behind him, goes grog as he opens the door.
Shoot him.
Roll the
Right
hit.
in the knob. Oh, that's
Ooh.
definitely a hit.
It's a
That's
17.
yes.
Surprise makes it an 18. You hit him in his chest. Give me a damage roll.
Damage is 8. D8 is 4 damage. And am I close enough for the bonus?
Mm-hmm.
Then it's
4, 5,
6.
6. Okay, you hit him square in the chest, and he collapses onto his butt, and then onto his back. Yeah, seemingly unconscious or dead.
Okay. I grab the longsword. Do I hear anything else?
Do you? I mean, you take a moment to pause and listen.
Yeah, to listen,
Yeah.
like if there's
You
anything.
hear the two slaves with you are talking. They say, "Where are the keys? Keys! We gotta find the keys."
I say, shh.
But the keys.
I listen. Do I hear anything else? Like people.
Give me a perception check.
That's 21.
21. You do not hear anyone else.
Do not hear anything else. I said, okay. I look on the hobgoblins if there are any keys on them.
Not on either of these two.
Okay, so I grab my longsword. I stab both of them in the head or chest, or I'm making sure they're dead.
All right, you put them out.
They're very dead, and I grab the. Do they either of them have? Oh, I grab my scimitar.
Yeah, you
Drop
go
the
over to the armory.
longsword and grab my scimitar.
You can get to the armory. It has scimitars. It has your scimitar has a couple of extra axes, some daggers, some hand axes. It's got some rope,
I'll grab a
various
dagger.
traveling supplies. Okay. So yeah, we should erase all of your gear pretty much.
Dagger was 2, right?
Dagger weighs 1.
1. All right. Dagger 1. Let's see. I have my loot.
Yeah, that was in the chieftain's room. You can grab that.
Yeah, I grab that. Let's see. Studded armor is gone. That's gone. Clothes are gone.
Yeah, you've got rags.
But they're not 5 weight, so I.
No.
They're like
Yeah.
what? 1, 2, 3?
1.
1.
Yeah.
Right. Let's change that. Dagger, longbow. I have arrows. I'll take all the arrows.
Yeah.
I've used 3, I think.
The armory has plenty of arrows. You can
I'll-
restock to 20.
I'll take 20 then. Yeah. Let's see. Don't have my torches anymore. And no whip. What was a whip for anyway?
Someone wanted a whip, just to whip things.
All right.
I'm,
Has it been used on me by the hobgoblins?
No.
I mean.
no. They've thrown things at you.
All right.
What are these things over here? So you do not have your rations. You can find your spellbook in the chieftain's room.
All right. I take that. Yeah.
But the rations are gone.
Okay. Let's change that to 0 days. No. Move that. Let's see. All right. That's all. All right. So now I have all my some of my stuff back, and I'll go to the kitchen to check that goblin out, checking everywhere if there's anyone there.
That hobgoblin has a set of keys on him that
Right.
are.
But walking there, I check every angle, especially the area of the infirmary.
As you go to the kitchen, the infirmary is not visible from the
Right.
kitchen.
But I check in that area, like
Mhm.
that direction, if there's anyone or any hobgoblin
Yeah.
coming.
So this is the infirmary. Why is everything always in this awkward color that doesn't show up? Okay, so that's the infirmary. And this over here is the kitchen. So our hero is going from here to there to grab everything. Okay.
Right. So back in the kitchen, I check the hobgoblin and what he has.
He's got the knife that you took from him. He's
Mhm.
got the keys he was working. He was using. There's it's like wood block carving that he has tucked in his belt that's not finished, and it's like 20% done.
Right.
He's got a block of cheese with him.
Cheese. I take that and eat it.
Okay, it's mediocre. It's
Well,
kinda-
at least it fills me up. a
Yeah,
bit,
yeah,
so.
that's something to eat.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So I take the keys. I open the shackles.
Okay. You unshackle your hands. You unshackle their
Yeah,
legs.
I tell them to be very quiet, and I walk towards the infirmary, and I
They
check everywhere. Like
give me a perception check.
perception check is very bad. It's 12.
Okay. So. Okay. You make it to the infirmary. The door is shut. Actually, it's half open, as if someone walked out and just
Like
left it
whatever,
open. Yeah.
All right. I peek in. No.
No.
I peek in.
You see the other hobgoblin passed out, face down, his head hanging off one side of the bed, a large pile of puke beneath him.
Nasty. All right.
It reeks of just kind of rotting food in here. It smells terrible.
Okay. I don't see the other one. It's probably on the other side of the door, I suppose, then. Because in my head I'm counting the 5 that
Mhm.
should be left, so...
Yeah,
Okay.
you only just see the one.
Okay, so I very carefully open the door a little bit
Mhm.
further and check in the rest of the building.
Seems pretty empty.
Huh. That's not good. I look around again, like, nothing?
No.
Well, math must be off then, I suppose. Maybe in the racks later. I go in the infirmary and I stab him in the neck.
Okay, so
Very
you
careful.
wake up as you approach. He does. As you get up close to him, and he lifts his head at the last moment as you bring your sword down. You actually need to make an attack roll now.
Attack roll. Because he's awake.
Yeah.
Attack roll with a scimitar is 13.
That's a hit. Give me a damage roll.
The scimitar is D8. Is that, what's that? 108?
I
I'll
think it's
take
D8. Yeah,
That's 4.
4. You lop his head, not off, but you cut deeply enough that the head just kind of hangs on one side.
That's gnarly. Okay. Alright, I check for if there's anything interesting in here. Like bandages, maybe? I've been hit, so I might.
Yeah, there are
bandage
some
myself up.
bandages around here.
Alright, I bandage myself up a bit.
Okay. The other 2 slavers saying, God, come on, we gotta go.
I don't want to bleed to death. Come on, be. And they're all dead now. Do you see any of them?
No, but there was a 5th one somewhere.
Well, let's check the wrecks then. The barracks, the other buildings, whatever.
You don't want to just leave?
Well, we could, but it might attack us, and then we're screwed.
Okay. But we'll take that one. You take the other one.
You sure? You want to go together?
All right, let's go together. Let's
I mean,
go together.
I'm fine with it, but okay. I'll just walk to the same one they are and
Okay.
grab my longbow and ready an arrow,
Mhm.
put an arrow on it, and slowly walk there and check, like keep walking, looking around because still the one I'm missing.
You do not see anything in and around the camp.
Okay, I walk into the, let's say it's this one.
Mhm.
I walk in and slowly look around.
There's bunk beds all over the place. The typical hobgoblin slob of a mess.
Mhm.
They're fairly organized for goblinoid creatures, especially when it comes to military matters. But their lifestyle is still pretty goblinoid. It's still pretty
Yeah.
slop. It's just
Sure.
there's stuff lying around.
All over the place, right?
Yeah.
Anything I could wear, like decent clothing, maybe.
You could probably use some of the furs and blankets that they use they sleep with to make like a makeshift tunic or a poncho.
Sure. Right. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. And I I tell I usher them to go to the other building, the other barracks. Very quietly, still looking around. We go there.
All right, you get to the other barracks on the other side of the camp. Inside is more or less the same situation, maybe a little bit more tidy.
Right.
And this place is missing a lot of its gear. It looks like everyone from this barracks had left with the chieftain, while the other one was probably half the stuff was missing.
Right. Okay, so I just grab some sheets and throw them around me, like to have something on me, to not be half naked, even though whatever. I'll just take that, and I'll walk. I mean, the tower was to the west of that big city on the map.
Yes.
So I'll try to walk towards the east because I'm assuming I'm still in that area until I hit a road. I'll tell them to come and. I go to the kitchen first and I grab some food that would be useful.
Okay. You can find some stale bread and some moldy cheese. There's some carrots that they recently pillaged from a farmer somewhere nearby. And a barrel of potatoes, uncooked potatoes.
Right. Well, we'll take them, I guess. And
they're not very good, but it's sustenance.
We'll just take them and see what we can do with them. If nothing, we can always throw them away.
Cool. So you guys set out. You get maybe 100 feet into the woods away from the camp when you hear the twang of a bowstring.
Oh god.
No, even with that's missed. And there's as an arrow whizzes past you guys and lodges into a tree in front of you.
From what area?
From behind you, from the camp.
Okay. So I get behind a tree and I look out, look at what I see.
You see an orc with
an actual orc?
Not an orc, I'm sorry. A hobgoblin with a quiver at his side, a longbow in hand, an axe at his side, chainmail on.
Right.
And what looks to be the carcass of a deer kind of resting at his legs.
The little shit was hunting. Alright.
I think we're going to have to roll for initiative again.
Yes, I guess. I tell the other guys to stay behind trees. Initiative is 17.
Okay.
That's pretty bad.
So the other two are hiding behind trees.
Yes.
You're ducked behind a tree.
Mm-hmm.
So nothing happens until... you get your bow out, you get your arrow out, you go first.
Okay, I very carefully peek and...
Okay, so as you peer around, the hobgoblin who's standing out in the open spots you. He already has his bow notched and ready.
Yes,
takes a shot. 16. You've got some cover, so you're not all the way out from behind the tree. So you have 3/4 cover, which is... Whoops. Which is what? 3/4 cover... here we go. Oh wow, it's actually -7 to hit. So he shoots at you, whaps the tree.
I'm wearing sheets.
Yeah, actually you are just wearing sheets.
So my
he rolls a
AC
17, and so your AC is just 10. Yeah, so he actually does hit you with the bow. Light arrow. You take 5 points of damage.
Well, that's
as it hits you heavily in the shoulder.
Right. Well, I shoot him.
Okay.
At him at least.
Roll a hit.
That's 14.
14 gets caught in his chainmail.
That's not.
He notches a second arrow and lets it loose at you. But that one thuds into the tree beside you as you get your second attack this round.
Okay, so I put my longbow on my back again, and I. Are there any bushes around?
Yeah, there's quite a few.
Okay. So using the cover of the bushes, I try to like move away and tell the other guys to come with me.
Okay, so you guys move further into the woods.
Yes.
Okay.
And like when there's any sort of clearing with less bushes, we go to the other side of the clearing and try to stay behind the bushes and hidden and look at whenever he is coming or if he is even coming.
Okay. So you guys move from bush to bush.
If we ever spot him or hear him, we attack him. But I attack him.
Okay. Give me an initiative roll to see if you can maybe spot him if he spots you faster.
7 plus. I mean.
Okay, he rolled an 8. Same speed, weapon speed for
Right.
both. So at a certain point, you're peering from behind a bush. You see him coming towards you. You grab an arrow, stand up to shoot. He sees you, grabs an arrow, but you get yours off first.
All right. 20.
Natural 20 plus 3 is a 23.
Yes.
It's still only a single crit, but you do double damage.
Double damage.
2d8.
2d8.
Yeah.
Right. That's 4 and 6 is 10.
10 damage. You hit him in the throat. He collapses to the ground in a pile of blood.
All right.
In an expanding pile of blood.
Okay.
The other humans with you stop and pant for a moment and look around and go, I think, is that the last one?
I mean, probably. I saw like around 15 of them go, and plus 5 is 20, about the amount of them.
Let's get the hell out of here.
So I've just been thinking, we kind of need some money, don't we? I mean, when we get to the city, we'll need something to do something.
Are you saying going back in there?
Well, in the boss's house, there must be some money. I mean, thinking back, there was money, obviously.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, we might have to. I mean, we're not that far out, right?
Okay, 100 feet, 150 feet.
Right. I say to one of them, is either of them hit?
No.
I tell them, one of them, like, maybe it's the best idea for one of you to run there, grab some money, and I'll cover you with a bow. I mean, I'm pretty good with a bow, as you've seen. If anything comes towards you, shoot it very hard.
They both shake their heads. One of them says, No, I'm not going back in there. I just escaped. Who needs money when you've got your life?
Well, I mean, how are we going to sleep anywhere but the ground?
They're terrified. These guys they're peasants. They're not the bravest of men.
Okay, just staying in the bushes again. I'll walk back as far as I can without getting out in the open, and
You make your way all the way back to the camp, going from bush to tree.
do I see anything but the dead deer and maybe a dead goblin somewhere?
Mm-mm.
Hobgoblin somewhere?
Nope. Looks
wait,
just
they're-
as you left it.
They're all in the houses, right?
Mhm.
A couple of them in the one infirmary.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, all right. So I don't see anything. All right,
Looks just as you left it.
I'm guessing this is the east.
Yes.
Okay, so I walk from here
Mhm.
to here to here, and like this, whatever is close to the
Sure.
door.
You go from one hut to the other and
Yeah.
make it back to the big Chief Hobgoblin's hut.
I grab some money. Is there like some chest or something?
Yes, there is a chest at the foot of the bed. It is locked.
How big is it? Like
Yeah.
how heavy is it?
40 pounds or so
40
is your gear in pounds. Yeah, so if you could carry it with you, but you'd be slowed a little bit. You'd move at movement rate 9 instead of at movement rate 12.
Okay. Is there any like a hammer or something or an axe? Obviously. So
Yeah, there's the axe that the guy dropped.
I'll grab an axe and like try to hit off the lock.
Okay, give me a...
Or use the keys I got from the other goblin. They should be here somewhere. So
Yeah, they're left in the kitchen, I presume.
well, I just came from the kitchen, so
Yeah.
carefully I walk back carefully, looking around again, grab the keys and try to open it.
They don't fit.
Of course not.
Yeah.
Okay, then I just try to hack it open.
Okay, give me. See, it's a nice heavy oak chest. Given enough time, you can definitely hack through it, but it. Just give me a series of strength checks until you reach.
I'll try for I don't know, like a couple of minutes, and if it doesn't work, I'll just take the whole damn thing.
Okay, so give me 3 strength checks. You're looking for a 27 or higher.
7. Let's see. Okay.
Oh,
Right to that.
there you go. You take a couple of big whacks at it, and you manage to cut just on either side of the locking mechanism, and then pry it out with the edge of the axe.
Right.
It pops off. The lid lifts open, and you see this chest has various just sacks, as if all the money they've taken they've just left in the bags that they took them.
Right. Do I have a backpack or anything like that?
No, you've got nothing.
Is there any backpack or something like that around here? I mean, I came in here with a backpack, I suppose.
Mhm.
So wouldn't it be around?
In the armory has a couple of bags to carry things with.
All right, I just grab one of them, throw it in. I mean,
Throw all the stuff in?
well, I mean, without the chest, it would be less than 40. I'll just throw in I check inside for some with gold instead of silver and copper. And
Yeah, you find a bag with about 200 gold, which you recognize as the gold that you
Right.
took from the
bastards.
tower.
Right. Yeah.
You see a couple bags with some gems.
Right. Oh, I take those. Those are very nice.
Yeah, most of them have silver and copper. Most of them are mostly silver and copper with a couple of
Right.
gold coins here and there.
Well, I just grab the 200 gold and the gems.
Okay, they are, what do you call them? Garnets. A bag of garnets.
Like how many?
30? 30 small garnets.
30. Garnet and 200 gold.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay, so I grab them. I grab a bag still. Throw
Mhm.
everything in, like my spell book, all my
Mhm.
stuff. I suppose I have been carrying that on my hand or something.
Yeah, we should probably thought that all the way through, but
Quite awkward.
we're here
Shoot,
now.
but
You put it in the bag.
I throw it all in, grab it, and I go back to the same route carefully again, looking around.
Oops. Okay, you get back to the 2 guys. They are standing there. They seem to be arguing over whether they should leave without you or not. But you arrive before they've left.
So if you want to leave, you can, but I mean, I grab the sack of gold. I do have gold now.
No. We're staying. We stayed.
All right.
We wouldn't leave you behind, right?
Uh,
Right. We wouldn't leave you behind.
Sure. Okay, sure. I mean, by the way, the garnets. How much are they worth? Like around, maybe.
You have no idea.
No idea.
You've been locked in tower your whole life. You have a very
Right.
uncomfortable concept of wealth.
Yeah, it's like gold is a lot, maybe, probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. These are
Right,
gems. They're supposed to be nice.
Yeah. Right. Well, if they're not worth much, I can still use them as a bracelet or something.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, so we head east.
Okay. Why don't we take a break here,
Sure.
and we'll come back in a few minutes with the second part of Tales of the Wandering Bard. See you guys on the other side.